Storyologists. This is Paige Turner, and I have a really fun craft that goes along with the story, Moth and Sloth, Best Friends Forever. And this is what we are going to make today, and actually it kind of goes like that, because that's a sloth, and sloths hang upside down in trees. But if this is a story about friendship, you know, Sloth has a friend named Moth. Can you see Moth? Can you figure out where he is? Where's Moth? Looks a lot like a bow tie pasta noodle. Yeah, so anyway, here's what we're gonna do for this craft. Can you tell what this is made out of? If you guessed a paper plate, you are correct. So we're going to take a paper plate and cut it in half with a pair of scissors. So you can actually get 2 sloths out of 1 paper plate. But we're just gonna make one right now. So now that I have half my paper plate, I'm going to cut out this little inside half circle with my scissors. So this part is going to be the sloth's body. And then we need the sloth's head. So this other piece that we just cut out, we're going to cut a circle out for Sloth's head. So let's see, I'm just going to use a little marker and make a circle. All right, so there's our sloth head and our sloth body. And now we have to paint them. So I'm actually going to use the other half of the paper plate that I had. And I'm going to use a little bit of black paint and a little bit of white paint. And also, I'm going to use a little bit of green paint. You'll see why in just a minute. Put that over there. All right, and now I really just want gray because sloths are kind of grayish in color. So I'm gonna mix together the black and white, but they're not just straight gray. They kind of are mottled. So they have a little black, a little white, a little gray, and also a little green. You'll see in a second. So I kind of like that mixed together look, and I'm just gonna paint. Okay, so I have my body painted. I'm gonna let that dry for a minute. And now I'm gonna do the same thing with the sloth head. Make sure you've got something on your table before you start painting. All right, there's my sloth head. So now we're gonna set those aside to dry, but I don't wanna wait. So I did one earlier. So I have this one earlier, and if you notice, there's a little bit of green here. Actually, I'm gonna take my other one back for a second, because I don't know if you remember in the story, but sloths actually have algae that grows on their fur. And algae is kind of like a plant. It's a kind of plant, actually. And this green algae grows on their fur, and it helps them blend in to their surroundings. It helps them camouflage so other animals that might want to eat sloths don't see them. And the moths that live in their fur, because they're called sloth moth, no, they're called moth sloths. No, they're called sloth moths. Sloth moths live in their fur, and they help create that algae. So we need a little bit of green algae. That's what the green is for. So I'm just gonna actually add it in, and it's okay while this is a little wet, because I just kind of want to get a little bit of green in there so our sloth blends into its surroundings. So once again, we'll set that aside to dry. And now I've got my dry sloth body, and I've got a sloth head. And I am just going to take this, and I'm going to tape with a little bit of Scotch tape my sloth head right onto the body. But before I do that, I want to draw my sloth face. So I am going to take a marker, and I'm just going to give it some like little dark shapes right here, because that's kind of what sloths have, these things almost like raccoons. So I'm just going to draw a shape right there. So there's my sloth face, but it looks like my sloth is sleeping. So my sloth needs some eyeballs. So I have some eyeballs right there. So I'm just going to use a little bit of glue, and I'm going to glue on some eyeballs. So here we go. All right, so we'll let that dry for another minute too. Go over here. And while we let the eyeballs dry, we're going to make our tree branch that our sloth is going to be attached to. So I'm just gonna take some construction paper. I have brown construction paper for the branch, and I have green for the leaves. And you can make your tree whatever color you want. You can even make your sloth whatever color you want. Sometimes they're grayish, sometimes they're a little bit more brownish, whatever you want to do. You can make a purple sloth. I'm going to just take a pair of scissors, and I'm just gonna cut, I don't know, about a 2-inch strip right here. And then I want some leaves. So I'm going to take my green paper and just cut out some leaf shapes. You can make your leaves look however you want them to look. Before I stick the leaves on, I'm going to attach my sloth head and my sloth body. So I'm just gonna use some Scotch tape. Now you can use glue if you want, and that'll take a little bit longer to dry, but Scotch tape works just as well. So before I do the Scotch tape though, look at this. I'm going to give my sloth some toes. Now there are 2-toed sloths and there are 3-toed sloths. This one's gonna be a 3-toed sloth. So I'm just gonna take my marker and draw 3 toes. There we go. And now I'm just gonna tape that right on to the tree branch with a little bit of Scotch tape. Now my sloth body needs a head, so it is time. Where did my head go? There it is. There's my sloth head that I just made. And same thing, we can just tape it right on the back here. You can just go like that. It flips up a little bit. You might want to put a little bit of a little folded piece underneath to keep it from flipping up. And there we go. What do we need? Yes, we need some leaves on our tree branch. So, you know what, I think I'll use some glue for this part. You can tape them on, you can glue them on, you can use a glue stick, however you want to do it. I'm just gonna stick on some leaves. So there he is, there is our sloth. And actually it's upside down because sloths like to hang upside down in trees. But this is a story about friendship, sloth and moth. So where is our moth? Moth likes to live in sloth's fur. That's where sloth moths live. They live in the fur of a sloth. So we're going to make our sloth moth out of a bow tie noodle. So you can just attach that noodle right here with a little bit of glue, or you can color it in a little bit. So I'm just gonna take a marker and give it a little bit of color, a little bit of orange. You can make your moth look however you want to make it look. I'm getting very messy with this project. And now I'm just going to glue my moth right onto my sloth's fur right there. So there you have it. Moth and sloth, best friends forever. So have fun, enjoy. If you make these, I want to see them. Ask your adults to use the hashtag Storyologists and post them online, and have fun. Use your imagination, have fun with your friends, and remember, when you create, every day is an adventure.
Brought to you by the Degenstein Community Library. This summer is filled with colorful crafts, stories, amazing presenters, and prizes. Be sure to visit the Degenstein Community Library and sign up for a free summer reading program. Happy reading!